Namo Phat. Good morning. Thank you for joining me for a daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The fourth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I vow to cultivate loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others, and to relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I am determined to speak truthfully, with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I will not spread news I do not know to be certain, and will not criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that can cause the family or the community to break. I am determined to make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. For our Dharma lesson today, we're beginning a new chapter from Ajahn Thiradhammo's book, Working with the Five Hindrances, on lethargy and drowsiness. Quote, "Just as, Brahman, if there is a pot of water covered with algae and water plants, and a man with good sight should consider his own facial image in it, he could not recognize nor see it as it really is. So too, when someone abides with their mind pervaded by lethargy and drowsiness, overcome with lethargy and drowsiness." The third hindrance is a double one, tina midda, often translated as sloth and torpor. According to the path of purification, the first term, tina, literally stiffness, means paralysis due to lack of urgency and loss of vigor. It has a characteristic of lack of driving power. Its function is to remove energy, as manifested as subsiding. The term midda means torpor or sluggishness. It has a characteristic of unwieldiness. Its function is to smother. It is manifested as laziness, or it is manifested as nodding and sleep. Thus, perhaps a clearer definition of the two terms would be lethargy and drowsiness. There are, of course, a variety of ways in which lethargy and drowsiness can be expressed physically, mentally, or spiritually. Sometimes they may be based or manifested more physically, the body lacking strength or vigor so that it is difficult to get it to move or even sit upright. The body can seem to be made of jelly, not having fixed boundaries or have amorphous sensations. At other times, the mental aspect may predominate. The mind seems to have no stability or not respond to directions. We experience it as being in a fog or dream state or sinking in a mud pool. If lethargy and drowsiness do not have an obvious physical or mental source, they are usually a type of spiritual lethargy. Lethargy and drowsiness are basically a lack of energy, and the fundamental dynamic is firstly deflation of energy, followed by collapse. It is thus helpful to be able to distinguish this deflation process, firstly, so as to be able to recognize it before it becomes excessive or habitual. Secondly, so that we can determine what is causing this loss of energy. And thirdly, to investigate whether and how this deflation may be reversed. If lethargy and drowsiness become too advanced, it is very hard to have any energy available to investigate them. It's a lot easier to top up the fuel tank in your car before it is totally empty and you're stranded on the highway. May all beings be well, May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thanks for joining me today.